How did vintage animation inspire Over the Garden Wall? Imagine stepping into a world where old cartoons come alive with a fresh twist. That's exactly what Over the Garden Wall does by drawing from vintage animation styles. The creators looked at early 20th century cartoons for ideas, especially those from Fleischer Studios. Fleischer was famous for cartoons like Betty Boop and Popeye, which used a special technique called rotoscoping. Rotoscoping involves tracing over live-action footage to make movements look smooth and realistic. You can see this in Over the Garden Wall during scenes like the Highwayman's Dance, where the fluid motion feels both nostalgic and a little eerie. This technique was a hallmark of Fleischer cartoons from the 1930s and adds a sense of authenticity to the show. The art style of Over the Garden Wall also takes inspiration from turn-of-the-century illustrations and vintage postcards. The colors are muted and autumnal, similar to old chromolithography, prints and Halloween postcards from the late 1800s and early 1900s. The backgrounds are rich with details, resembling storybook illustrations or magic lantern slides. This creates a dreamy, timeless feel that makes the world seem both familiar and mysterious. The show's visual choices echo the look of early Disney animations, especially their use of soft edges and circular framing in dream sequences. These choices aren't just for looks. They help set a cozy yet spooky mood, much like classic fairy tales and early animated shorts. Music also plays a big part in capturing that vintage vibe. The soundtrack features folk, blues, and jazz, which were popular genres in the early 20th century. These musical styles complement the vintage visuals perfectly, making the world feel both old and alive. The combination of animation techniques, art style, and music shows how Over the Garden Wall pays homage to cartoon history while telling a new story. Fans who recognize these influences enjoy spotting references to Betty Boop, early Disney, or vintage postcards, adding another layer of fun. The series proves that old animation styles can be reimagined to create something fresh and exciting. It's a great example of how the past continues to influence modern cartoons, blending nostalgia with new ideas. Creators and fans alike can learn from this approach, seeing how vintage techniques can be used to craft stories that feel both timeless and original.